Good morning, everybody. Today I have a very special guest with me here in our virtual studio. I'm taking you to the south of France, more specifically to the Côtes Du Roussillon, where I will talk to Lionel Lavail. He's the owner, winemaker, also CEO, restaurant owner, hotel owner, everything you want of Domaine Cazes. Lionel, thanks for joining us today.
Hello, thank you to invite me. Pleased to meet you and to
Perfect.
introduce our company.
Cool. How are you today?
I'm very good. We are on a sunny time as usual in the Roussillon because it's always sunny, and it's unfortunately a dry, very dry January. It's a dry weather, so we
Okay.
have a lack of water, but well, we expect the rain. Give us some rain from Belgium, some water.
Yes, we do have a lot of rain here.
I,
So Lionel, thanks again for joining. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and Domaine Kaas, please?
yes, I'm just the wine grower of Domaine. I'm in the wine growing and farming in my family. I'm the seventh generation. So we have a long tradition of wine farming and wine growing in the Roussillon, always in the wine. Wine, but not only wine. In the past, my grandparents produced some apricots, almonds, olive oil, and perhaps we will come back with my children generation to other farming just to make a good environment for the vines. On my generation, I try to develop the onotourism activity to welcome, first of all, Belgian customer, but not only, to have a good experience about the Roussillon. We have a fantastic terroir in the Roussillon. We just have a lack of image because we are quite young region. As many journalists say, we are the new world in the old world. And I think it's a good summary of what is the Roussillon. We have a long tradition of sweet wine because we are lucky. We are producing incredible sweet wines. Banyuls, Muscat, Rivesaltes, and Maury. But my grandparent generation only produced sweet wine, and Domaine is very famous with our sweet wine. We are supplying all the three-star Guide Michelin restaurant for 40 years or more than that. But my generation, I try to develop with our old vines more and more dry wines, and we are very successful with our dry wines, Côtes Du Roussillon Village, and Collioure in Domaine.
Okay, very interesting, Lionel. Can you tell us a little bit more specifically? I know probably in the south you're growing Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre. Are you also growing other grapes? What's your vision on that?
Yes, we in Domenicas we always try to be a laboratory to experience new things. It could be for farming tool, vinification, and for sure for grapes. We are more than 25 different grapes. We experience Tannat, Malbec, for sure Viognier, Vermentino, a lot of white grapes because we develop the white. And so I think the terroir of the Roussillon, because the proximity of the mountain and the sea, just to make a small localization, Roussillon is a very small area compared to Languedoc. Languedoc is huge uh, area of production, about 30 million of hectoliters. In
Mhm.
Roussillon, it's more than 1 million. It's a half million. So we are a small area between France and Spain. We are not exactly French. We are not exactly Spanish. We are definitively Catalan. But French Catalan on the north side of the Pyrenees, when the Pyrenees dive on the Mediterranean Sea. That's why white wine are really amazing. White could be sweet with our ambré or white banyuls, but for dry also, freshness from the sea, minerality, saltiness, and freshness from the mountain, and the altitude, the different altitude. We have an interesting mosaic of terroir, and very interesting for white. So we have many grapes. The main grape for white is Muscat, and the other one is white Grenache. And we develop a lot the white Grenache because of the weather evolution. We have to come back to Grenache. because Grenache is very well adapted to the weather, hot and dry weather.
Okay, interesting. You talked, of course, a little bit already about the terroir and your locations. How is the soil condition in Domaine Cazes?
Domaine Cazes is not one soil. Domaine Cazes is a mix of different soil, mainly pebble stone, a lot of schist we have in the Roussillon, which is very interesting. We work on the minerality of the schist. We have a lot of limestone, and the idea is to have different blocks on different terroirs. We pick every block, every terroir, and after we try to work on vinification and blending to have a very specific style, to have a lot of minerality, a lot of freshness, very low alcohol wines, not too much concentration, because in Roussillon sometimes you have too much concentration and too much alcohol. This is not our style. So no oak. It's not an obligation to age the wine in oak. If you have a very nice pure fruits, and to have a very nice pure fruits, you have to pay attention to your wines, to your vines,
Mhm.
to make good farming. And that's why we decided 25 years ago to go to organic and biodynamic farming. And the result of the biodynamic for more than 25 years is to develop the roots, the healthy of the plant, and to have more freshness, acidity level, uh, well balanced wine. That's the profile of Domaine Cazes. The mixity of the terroir and the farming in biodynamic is very interesting.
Okay, and this actually takes me to my next question, which was your choice for biological. It's already 25 years. I guess you are pioneering that world because if you look 25 years ago, there's not a lot of winemakers that made the clear choice for biological.
It was a tough challenge. It was a difficult decision. It was an expensive decision. It was not a trendy decision. We lost many customers. We switched in '97. In '97, we made an analysis of our soil, and the soil was close to be dead because in the past, my father generation, all the wine grower used a lot of chemical products because it was fantastic, very efficient, very inexpensive. But we killed the taste because the taste is coming from the typicity of the terroir and the healthy of the plant. So our acidity decreased a lot. Our specificity of a wine from a wine grower than a wine from a brand or big industry is very different. And we start to go in a bad direction for the coming generation. So I hope I will leave to my children again, and the 9 and the 10 and the 11 generation, my son or other sons of the Roussillon. We
What's
want
very,
to
so,
leave
sorry,
them
man.
an healthy soil with a healthy plant. And the only way to go back to the past, it was to farm differently. And it was organic and biodynamic. That was the only way to go back. It was difficult to understand the name and how to explain to customer because it's just a technical thing of production. Now is well accepted, is more understanding, and is people are consumer are have the skill to understand because they have more information. But 25 years ago, we decided to go in biodynamic without any advertising on that. During 10 years, it was a secret. We had the certification, we had the control, but we didn't say to our customer because it was a very now people say it's a good advantage for the business, but is a small advantage. But in the past, it was a very big week, to say we are in biodynamic. People were afraid about that.
Yes, and I think it's a very brave choice. What I really, for my understanding, the key takeaway is, of course, respecting your soil, respecting nature, and respecting how plants grow in a natural environment. The thing that's very interesting for me is how you explain that it adds to the freshness of your wines. How can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, because when you kill the grass on the soil with herbicide, the roots of the vines they could stay quite. high. They
Mhm.
don't have to go deeper because you didn't plug the soil. When you stop chemical product and you work on the soil and you give life in the soil, uh, the roots go much deeper. And when the plant have to be stronger by itself, naturally they develop very long roots. When I say long, it could be 7 meters of roots after 25 years in biodynamic compared to vines usually with conventional farming could be at least 1 meter, 1.5 meter. So it's a big difference. Big difference when there is hydric stress, because if you go deeper, you feel less the hot temperature, the lack of water. So you're going down to find in the stone the minerality, the humidity. That's why the plant is more healthy. So the plant make an effort stronger to go deep. So they produce less fruits. So that's an impact of biodynamic. We reduce the production, but each fruit the plant is able to produce is a very healthy fruit with a good acid, with a good pH, with a good flavor, and maturity is goes very well until the harvest. And at least the wine is better. The wine is more fresh. The wine is more fruity. The wine is more clean. The tastes are totally different.
This is really very interesting. Looking back at the season 2023, how has it been? Are you happy with it?
Yes, quality is amazing. I don't want to say as in Bordeaux, this is the vintage of the century as every year, but the vintage is good. In quality is very good because we had a quite fresh summer with very fresh night. So the flavor are very clean with a better intensity than 2022, with a better acidity also, but we had a small vintage. In quantity, it's minus 10%, 15%, until 30% on very old Grenache. So it's a small vintage, but very interesting in quality. So the quantity in Roussillon is always very low. We have the lowest yield in France. The production in Domaine Cazes, the average yield is 22 hectoliters per hectare in 2023. Usually it's 20, 27, 29. 30 could be a fantastic yield for us.
Mhm.
22 is very low. And I think in the coming year, we are going to be around 20. So that's why we have to improve our quality, but also our price level a little bit, because we are, compared to our production volume, we are very low and very inexpensive. So that's why it's a good bargain to go to the Roussillon and to buy a very old vines, quality wine, very healthy wine, inexpensive. And I think we are a good bargain region.
Okay, interesting. Um, our customers and people in Belgium, they very much like specifically the John wine here, which I have from your domain. And people always ask, what's this name? What's this no sulfites? What's behind this? Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, I think we are. That's the style of Domaine Caz. We are in a wine farming. We don't in the wine business. Sometimes people think they are the king, and I think we have to be the feet on the land, and not. We have to be funny. We have to be simple. So John wine is just to remember. We're coming from the south of France. We are not. We don't have any blood, blue blood. We are very simple. We are just farming, and sometimes you could be funny. You could have some joke, and the name come from a nice dinner with some friend. Perhaps I drink too much this for this dinner, but the idea was to imagine a name, not very serious, but that means something funny for a funny wine, and funny, but with a link with our terroir. And the idea was to imagine a man called John wine, looking for the most natural and pure land to plant some wine. And with his horse, he go to the wide Roussillon, and he find a land to plant some old Grenache and Syrah, and to make a natural wine with any sulfite, just the expression of the terroir, and to discover what it could be juicy, fruity, spicy, nice flavor, and not serious. It could be wine, have to be accessible. It's not philosophy. It's just pure fruity wine and with a good drinkability. People enjoy to discover the wine. And if we want to interest young consumer, we have to give them a message very simple. John wine is simple. Experience this wine. It's a good example of what our terroir is able to produce. It's fruity, it's no sulfite, it's natural wine, it's organic, it's biodynamic, it's inexpensive, and the label is funny. You could remember.
Yes,
And
correct.
that's why we are very successful, because we don't have a small castle, very traditional. No, in the Roussillon, we are from the south. We have to be funny, as people are in Belgium.
Yes, I think both feet on the ground, and now I understand really why we Belgians particularly like this vintage.
Yeah,
It's a
and
good
that's why
philosophy.
we are successful, because the message could be a little bit strange, but it's clear. It's simple.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Maybe to close up, any plans for the future you would like to share?
No, the priority for us is to develop, to plant more white grapes. As I told you, we have a big demand on the white wine. We plant some Vermentino, white Grenache, and something very unique. I work with that to plant some white Mourvèdre. There is no white Mourvèdre in France at this time. We will be the first to experience white Mourvèdre, because Mourvèdre is a very interesting grape also. Mourvèdre is able to support the hot weather, but Mourvèdre need to see the sea, as in Bandol. And in Collioure, in Perpignan, in Rivesaltes, we see the sea everywhere. So the Mourvèdre is very well adapted to the Catalonia. It could be in Barcelona, it could be in Perpignan. But in white, I didn't know it was existing. So we are now to experience. So we always experience new things, new grapes. And for sure, we will continue to farm biodynamically, and we work on how to have soil more rich to give enough strongness to the plant to avoid water, because we have a lack of water, as I told you, and the regenerance of the soil could be an alternative of the lowest water level. So big challenge for the future, for the coming generation, to continue to farm with the evolution of the weather. And in the same time, we have also to develop our marketing, because we have to push young people to experience wines, because consumption is also decreasing a little bit.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Lionel. I've been really enjoying all this information. And thanks
Thank
for
you
giving
to
us your nice vintages.
drink our wines. We just want one, drink our wines.
We will for sure.
And
Okay.
if you go close to the south of France or to the north of Spain, it's very interesting to visit our winery. You will be very welcome to experience our winery, to understand more about biodynamic, our food, because we have restaurant, organic restaurant. It's a good experience to stop in Domaine.
It's a really good idea. We must do it.
Thank you.
Okay,
You will
Lionel, thank you. What's important
all the best.
behind, Lionel, if you can leave your browser a little bit open, you will see above uploading. It's the video that's still uploading.
Okay.
So if you leave it open for like 2-3 minutes, I will stop the recording, but then the video will be uploaded. So every little internet hiccup will be fixed then.
So I leave the Riverside open.
Yeah, for 2-3 minutes. and then it's
Okay.
okay. Then the video is uploaded. So again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I will not publish before I have your approval, so I will send you everything before.
And I hope to meet you physically one day, okay?
I'm visiting everything. I was in Nîmes 2 weeks ago, but next
Are you
time
coming from Inzindio? No.
no, I'm in England that time, visiting other customers. But yeah, it's a shame I'm not there.
And Philippe, you sell to private customer or to restaurant?
Some B2B, and but most of them are private.
Okay.
Most of the tour tastings, but yeah, or companies or gifts, etc. Those kind of things. Yeah.
Well, thank you to buy our wines, and
Well,
thank
you're
you to be
welcome.
ambassador of John Wine.
We will continue that. Thank you very much, Lionel, and
Good.
have a nice day.
Merci
Bye
Philippe.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.